So tell me if people have gotten their drinks and gotten settled.
Yeah, I think we're all sorted.
Did I hear Hill? Are we
Yeah.
Kerithlana?
Physically, if not mentally. I'm prepared.
So everybody is physically, if not emotionally, prepared. Tasty friends assembled. So the first thing, everybody do your charisma checks.
In the tower, I'm assuming?
In the tower, yes. Every time you guys roll dice in that tower, I just crack myself up. That must be why people use the tower.
That's not ominous.
No, not at all.
Dun, system going. Right, charisma check. How do I do that again?
That's the one thing I can remember how to do.
Because you've had to do it so
We've
many
been
times.
using the other system.
Oh. Wait, have you been playing Pathfinder?
No,
or
no,
a different
the
edition?
Roll 20.
Oh, roll 20. Okay.
20.
Let me make sure I save that spreadsheet. Is it wrong that I have a spreadsheet for your Saltmarsh election results?
I don't think so.
The things that amuse me in small ways. So I did the summary in our Twitter groups. And that's pretty much what happened. The only things, and I guess I'll read that aloud again because I don't expect you guys to actually remember enough to prompt you to do a summary. Because it's been 5 weeks or so.
5/26, according to
Yeah, it was May when we last played. Okay, so you guys went through the portal from the Great Pool. You met Pierce, an imprisoned elemental being used to power the devil's shields that block you from closing the portal. Because there was a distinct failure to whack a portal, it's the Gatekeeper 101 method of dealing with portals. Those who have recently completed Cold Chamber are familiar with this. Well, I guess you aren't, because you can't whack that portal, can you? Or can you?
No.
Nope, you gotta kill all the trogs.
You gotta kill all the trogs. So this isn't a good example. It's more
Is
like
that where we
the
went
wilderness area. There aren't nearly enough
Killed the trogs.
troglodytes. You haven't found the trogs yet, I guess. But the wilderness area version of the portal, you just whack it, Easy peasy mortal portal combat. Okay, so once you crossed into the portal and you talked to Piers and he told you about there's 3 crystal thingies and each of them correspond to an orb. And if you dismantle them, it will free him and power off the shields. So then you can actually deal with the portals as the gatekeepers intended. Pierce also gave you some Galanda distillate.
In exchange for jam.
It's Galanda distillate classic. Kerithlana's Crown of Oceany Bits went ping and leveled up. Stiiv had some more whispers about his patron wants him to continue collecting more codex pages on the down low. Oh, you guys don't know that, though. Only Stiiv knows that. Because it was during his dream. You guys had a long rest. Dave didn't immediately accompany you through the portal because Farron, the gatekeeper, had set up this moonbeam kind of anti-fiendish zone. But eventually, Kymir said his name 3 times and summoned him, so he's with you now. And you killed a flesh render. You had spotted the first orb crystal thingy, and you were contemplating crossing a chasm of acid to get to it. Now, I told you that the acid pools in this area range from 10 to 20 feet across, and we kind of have that like 10-foot arrow up. But while there is an area that you guys can reach that's 10 feet across, it has a close ledge. Like there's not a 10-foot area of space that would enable a running jump across the 10-foot space. So the place where you could do a 10-foot running jump is actually 13 feet across. So there's like a 10-foot chasm if you're doing it from standing, no running jumping, if jumping is the concern. If spreading something across it is a concern, it's 10 feet. If you're doing a running jump, it's 13 feet.
And we used our rope, didn't we, to get down here?
I
You
think
put
you
the
used a
Pythagorean
lot of
theorem.
rope.
How
All
big?
our rope is gone.
Yeah.
At this point in time.
How
We
big?
don't actually need to jump it yet. Oh, is it worth looking around the south and seeing if there's another way to get to
Yeah,
it?
you could also
Because
try going
if
around
we
the other
sit-
way.
Go on, Rach.
How big was the giant green toothbrush?
I think it had a 10-foot reach.
Think we can walk across it?
Do we still have it?
Oh yeah, you
It's-
still have your greenish
Right.
shiny metal toothbrush. Yeah, you try out the toothbrush. And while it's a little bit weird, the bristle side, like where do the bristles go? How do you like lay it? Because it just makes it across from end to end. And you think you'll probably need somebody who is better at jumping, or who can misty step or abundant step chasms to maybe hold down one end to give it stability so it doesn't move while somebody's trying to get across. The last couple feet though, it has bristles, so that might be a little bit of an obstacle to like where you have to make a little hop the last bit. And it might be a little bit like going across a balance beam to cross over the chasm using the toothbrush.
DM query.
Uh-huh.
Is this like the old classic toothbrushes that hold on. Oh, go away.
It doesn't have a toothpick that you can tell per se.
Well, no, I was trying to get an image here, and it has a stupid header that was cutting my image off. Okay, I'm gonna throw this in Discord real quick. Is this like the old classic toothbrushes that have a hanging hole on the end opposite the toothbrush bristles?
Because I'm curious where this is going, I'm going to say yes. For
We can
easy
patent
storage?
it on one end. We can patent it on one end.
Yeah, you do have pitons.
See, that's the image
Yeah,
I've got in my head.
that is kind of the scale we're talking about here.
Oh yeah,
A dragon grooming device.
we could stick some some pitons in on one end and lash it around and secure it. I mean, we'd have bristles up on the other end, but
Yeah, but we could
but-
hopefully just step over them.
yeah, that
As long as
could give
it's-
us a little bit of extra security.
Sure.
Although there is another important question: how strong is the plastic? Because
The toothbrush
gonna
does
easily-
not. Well, okay, make an Arcana check. Anybody who wants to examine the toothbrush.
I will do that. Awesome.
Oh, not bother.
Stiiv, you look at this toothbrush and you recognize that it is not plastic. It is not some kind one of those strange composites that House Cannith will make some of their magical devices out of that is quite lightweight. You also ran into that kind of weird composite that some people call plastique in one of the toys that you found in the nursery. This
Oh,
is
so it's
not that.
oh, good. It's not a Barovian toothbrush.
It's not a Barovian toothbrush. It's not a Blitsky toy. It's not one of the cheap Eternal Toasters. This seems to be made out of metal. It's a greenish metal with a kind of coppery sheen that mirrors the scales of a bronze dragon. And you recognize this metal. You think that this toothbrush has a metal line handle.
Oh, snap.
So you think it's definitely strong enough to withstand the weight of probably a very fat warforged.
That
We
was
couldn't
it.
find one of those.
I'm sure one will turn up eventually.
He's not fat. He's waterlogged.
Waterlogged.
All right,
Walked
should we
all
try
way
the
to Stormreach
toothbrush then?
Camp.
Might as well.
So you have the toothbrush secured with a pitten on one end through the hole used for easy hanging storage. The bristles are up on the other end for like the last couple of feet. It is still kind of narrow, like it's going to be like a balance beam crossing. So people may have to make a acrobatics check or like just a dexterity check to see if they can cross without losing their balance.
Is that going to be you and me? I'm just thinking if we've got the better athletics, if we can get across and hold it from the other end to make it a bit easier.
Yeah, I'll go first. Since it's my toothbrush. Or I happen to be carrying it.
It's my toothbrush and I would die if I wanted to.
All right.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
then acrobatics, if you're proficient in it, that's fine. Yeah, 17. You just skip across this Medaline toothbrush, and you are on the other side. I can't stop looking at Whoopi Goldberg. I love her so much. I have to actually start looking at the game again.
She's amazing. Right. Shall I go next? I don't know if there's any point in me being here. It's not like I can catch anyone, is it? So.
Oh, Dave flies over once Shaefira is over there. Dave just flies.
Okay, I'm going to say that's enough.
Oh yes, that's definitely Kymir. You like show off.
I just go handstand across.
You basically do like a quadruple dismount kind of flip. Like some cartwheels on the toothbrush.
Steve holds up a placard saying 3.2.
Dave is holding up a 9.9. The devil judge approves.
Always got to be a Russian judge.
I will, I guess, hold this end of the toothbrush.
Make sure that the bristles are steady, stable.
Yeah.
That'll add a +1 to whoever it comes across now that you're holding it steady, so there's no wobble.
Okay.
I'll go next, Steve.
That's good. I was going to play, parchment boulder shears for that, but
I slap you with guidance before you go.
oh, thank you. I'm gonna need it.
Okay.
I know everybody's going to get their good rolls out of the way right now. It's going to be awesome.
I've got Rachel's pencil.
Ooh, no wonder you rolled a nat 20.
Stolen my pencil. I didn't even notice it was gone.
I did not steal it. You left it over here. When you were writing down your sister's Chinese order.
Wait, did Stiiv roll?
Oh no, Kerithlana said she.
I thought she
I'll-
deferred to you.
I thought she was casting on me before she went. Okay.
She was like,
Acrobatics,
aimed
That's
before
what I
right?
need for you.
Okay, here we go. You know, I'm gonna roll the d4 first. Okay.
So you'll have +3 total to whatever you roll. And that, unfortunately, a 6 + 3 is not good enough, and you fall off of the toothbrush.
Misty step to the shore.
Okay. So that's one of your spell-like things, right?
Oof. Yep. Pack magic.
Okay.
I only have one more left before we get
Before you have
a short rest.
short rest. Okay. So just as Stiiv is like, whoa, ready to fall into the bubbling acid below, he poofs to safety. Dave is like, woo, that was close. I was really scared.
I like that spell.
Leaves Kerithlana standing alone on her side.
Okay, I'll hit myself with guidance. God, how do you roll a d4? I know
That
I'm doing on it.
So
It's not gonna do it.
unfortunately,
Okay,
and there's one more on top of that, but 9 is unfortunately not enough. And you, Kerithlana, you start and topple over the side. Armor is squeaking.
I pull out my quarterstaff and jab it out towards her to grab the other end.
They absorb elements as a bonus action.
Okay. So you're absorbing elements, but make a dex save to see if you catch on to Kymir's quarterstaff.
Maybe.
Unfortunately, an 11 is not good enough. It was really close, but not quite close enough. And you do kind of tumble into the acid, but you're absorbing elements. Wait, let me make sure, because I think your absorbing elements only worked on 2 elements. What elements were those? If is it from the Crown of Oceany bits?
I've got it as a spell.
Or is it like as a cleric? I guess that's the delineation.
No, it doesn't say on my character sheet that it's.
If it's absorb elements
From
from
the,
the Crown of Oceany bits, it does lightning and thunder
That's not
only.
going to work.
But if you have it as a spell because you're a tempest or something like that, then it's fine.
Let me check. I've got a horrible feeling that it's not. Lightning bolt the acid. That's going to help.
I'm so slow turning off things.
Yeah, let's assume that I don't. Let's assume that I don't have it. It's fine.
I'm just checking. No, you would not have it as part of available as a spell book. So just block that. You didn't use absorb elements, so you still have that charge. But you do take some acid damage. In the acid, do you have any kind of boots that are not magical? Or what are you wearing on your feet?
No idea. I presume I have something on them.
I don't think you have magical boots, though. Because if you had magical
There's
boots,
nothing specified, so
they would resist anything. But if they're mundane boots, you take 2d8, I mean not 2d8, 2d4 acid damage. 4. And your boots are a bit wrecked now. Did you apply it to yourself? You did. So you're like now like in the acid. And everybody has a chance to help you get out before you have to make a save again to see if you get any more damage.
I will not use the barred net in an attempt to get her out.
That's helpful. Well, she
Should have
seems to be
taken a
close.
regular net.
She seems close to the side, so can we just like go over and reach down, grab an arm each?
You could totally assist her out with your with the quarterstaff now. You can just like, because before it was like reflexes whether or not she's going to catch on to it quickly enough to catch herself. Now you can just, you know, stick out your quarterstaff and assist her in climbing out.
Okay.
So you can do an acrobatics check with advantage. Kerithlana would do the check. Did I say acrobatics or athletics? Because I meant athletics.
Athletics. Okay. Advantage. Yeah.
If it helps, one of your d20 rolls had 2 digits.
Hey.
Unfortunately, a 12 is not good enough. So you also make a dex save. Okay, Kerithlana, you do manage to hop in place, like trying to minimize contact with the acid. So you only take 1d4 damage this time, so it's 2.
I need to stop trying to poke her with the stick. It's obviously not working.
I will pull the crowbar out of my backpack and with my wonderful noodle arms leap over and stick it out and attempt to give her a hook to grab onto and pull on that.
Attempt to grab onto your thing and try not to pull Thorgrin in.
So you have advantage again.
I want to say, hoping I don't go in.
And you could always cast guidance on yourself again too.
I'll do that.
So do another athletics check with advantage.
Mm,
And that's enough. 15 is enough with your guidance.
Yay.
It's a good thing too, because 12 would not have been enough, as we proved before. But Kerithlana, with Stiiv's assistance and Kymir's face palming, because it's incredible that this is working better than what he was trying to do earlier. You are now out of the acid.
Kymir warmed it up. That's what it is. It's like the jar, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So Kerithlana, you're outside of the acid now too. It takes a little bit of climbing. I'm going to reveal more of the math. It takes more climbing, but you can have a straight shot to get to the orb from here. You just have to kind of climb down into, there's a little chasm that's about 5 feet across, but the acid is dry at this point. I mean, at one point it was flowing here, but the acid level changed over time.
It's low tide.
Yeah, or
I
it
was
might be
saying-
because the effects of what was going on above in the ruins of Marseval, that some of the fluid that used to fill this cavern has been displaced.
By the dead dragon.
He did splash around a lot of
He
acid.
did. Yes, he did. There was splurts.
So I guess we're just shooting this thing then?
Do we think shooting's a good idea?
We did say destroy it.
What's it made of? Do we know? Can we see? Can we tell?
Do an arcane check, arcana check.
I don't think I will tell anything from that, but eh.
I think I'll piggyback on that. Nope.
Stiiv, it's enough. You're like, you think it's made out of fire. Kerithlana's like, yes, it's made out of fire and probably some metally bits, but the important part is like the fire. Fire is the main thing. She thinks that because this is made out of fire, that fire damage will not have any effect on it. But otherwise, you just whack away Gatekeeper 101 until it's destroyed.
You're all right. Eldritch Pew. Let's
Okay.
get this starty parted.
Is it likely to backlash if we destroy it?
We'll find out.
Staying
Yeah.
here.
All right. I've got fire resistance, so I'll hit it as well. What do I want to hit it with?
So you gonna punch it, Kymir?
Yeah, I'm going to hit it with my scythe quarterstaff. Do I just do a normal attack on it? Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
assume
for
a
crying-
24 hit.
It's right there. It's a big red
Well-
ball.
Here's the thing: you hit it, okay? But there seems to be it does have this metal underbody, so your scythe kind of swings through the fire and then hits something very hard, and you don't seem to have hit it quite hard enough to have overcome the strength of the metal. So that's
At
what
the
these
other
whole
end.
attack checks are.
Okay.
I assume a 24 is sufficient.
Yeah, a 24 is sufficient.
Well, that'll do. Are my rolls not showing up in your chat?
Oh, they are. They're
Oh,
showing
okay.
up. I'm just futzing around. So I show 14 damage on the orb at this point.
No, I was just making sure because sometimes if you import and export characters, it gets funky on the combat log and the party tracker, and
I have not seen any of that so far.
it doesn't appear to have been. Cool. Technology working seamlessly.
Jinx.
All right.
Totally gonna explode.
So I'm assuming that Kymir is the only person who is attacking this thing from a distance. I mean up close, from melee range, or is
I'm gonna chuck some at it.
Oh, wait,
do
Kerithlana
that melee
disconnected, right? Where's Kerithlana?
I'm still here.
Oh, who disconnected? I guess you're back because I've heard everybody's voice. Okay. Who is it? It was Grim who disconnected. Okay, never mind.
Oh yeah,
I was just having a brain
internet.
fart. I was like, oh my god, am I proceeding with what's going on and someone hasn't reconnected yet? So it's
It's
like
all right.
a
Rach
moment
told
of
me
panic.
I won't coming through.
So, Shaefira, you need to do what you're doing.
Okay, well, I'm kind of shoot an arrow at it and see what happens.
All right, you hit it with your arrow. It just disappears in like the fiery swirl, but you hear this ptoing sound. It does partially resist your damage.
Okay.
No, wait, it says it applies 0. Why? Oh, that's why. Yeah, it seems to resist the damage. So, Kerithlana.
Uh,
Did we lose Kerithlana?
oh, I'm talking.
Oh, it wasn't transmitting.
No, one coming through.
Okay. I'm gonna try Sacred Flaming it.
Okay.
That's attack rather than. It's radiant rather than fire damage. That makes any sense?
That always confused me with the name.
That looks like it failed, so it takes a d8.
Yes, and it seems to
Which it resisted
resist
as
it,
well.
but the amount that it resisted it is incorrect in your case, and so it does take 3 points of damage.
I guess Sacred Light Bulb just didn't have the same impact.
We can't call it light because that's something else.
But Kymir, we're back to you.
Okay. Do I want to hit it with a big stick or do I want to risk it with my hands? Damage is that's radiant. I'm going to shoot a sunbolt at it.
Okay. So you pew
Okay.
pew a radiant bolt into it with a 21.
Yep. That's is that a key thing? I can't remember. I don't think it is it?
Only
I
when
thought
you
it-
do the 2 of them.
Right, okay. Oh, okay.
Here again, that's 3 damage.
Okay. Um
At this point, you notice that there's a crack on the orb, and there's a slight break in the reddish flame. You've done enough damage to this orb that it's you've started shattering it so that it's partially split apart. AKA, it's bloodied. So, Shaefira, back to you.
I thought it was Stiiv.
I'm kind of
think-
like, I'm kind
yeah, I
of,
think-
I started picking up your combat tracker order,
Yeah,
But
me and
we-
Steve got carried away.
but we can do Stiiv.
No, that's all right.
I'm not bothered.
He's
Sorry,
got the
I'm-
higher decks anyway. I guarantee she has a higher dex than I do.
Oh, yeah, she does.
Probably double mine. Checking the list. Over double mine.
So, what are you doing, Shaefira?
I'm gonna chuck a hand axe at it this time and see if that does all.
Okay, you hit it with your hand axe. And you do a full 5 damage to the orb
Woo.
with the hand axe.
Yay.
Each hit now seems to cause kind of like a groaning sound as the metal bends. And the fire seems to become more threadbare.
So does that scythe you have do slashing or piercing damage there, Kymir?
Slashing and magic damage.
No, that doesn't. Trying to figure out the resistances here.
Yeah, but I kind of missed anyway, didn't I? So it didn't really help.
Well, she just did a non-magical slashing hand axe and it did full damage, but a non-magical piercing did no damage.
Well, no, the thing is, Kymir didn't hit it hard enough.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
well, that's what I mean. Is he didn't know what I'm saying is even if Kymir had, it's slashing or magical. So if it's immune to non-magical piercing damage, then that doesn't really help. I'm trying to figure out. We already know slashing, so magic slashing doesn't
And you
add
know
any
that
additional information.
Radiant is partially resisted.
Right. It's like we're playing Clue with the resistances here. Like I already know the pipe works. I don't need a magic pipe. All right, but I'm gonna shoot it with an Eldritch Blast because we know that way. And
Because Force seemed to have done okay last time.
and I don't have any
Did you roll? Because I don't see rolling in the roll in the chat.
because I just made it.
Okay, there's a roll, and you hit it.
Pew!
But do you
Big
damage
money,
it with
no
that hit?
worries. No.
You do. You do 6 damage.
Boom.
So there's another groan, and some of the fire seems to fizzle. So there's just tendrils coming out of what used to be an orb. Now it's kind of like a little pedestal, a little metallic pedestal with small tendrils of fire coming out of it.
It's a demonic ice cream cone.
Yeah, that is really what it looks like. Kerithlana.
I'm stepping back. No reason. That's me done.
She's like, I've played Legendary Shroud.
All right, so that's gonna be your turn. You're not gonna like Sacred Flame anything. So Kymir, go for it.
Well, fuck it. I'll go with the scythe again. Come on, hit it. Oh, you absolute what?
So this time you swing back. You're hitting it harder, but it still doesn't quite seem to do anything. It's just like you're like, oh, it's not quite enough. But there's a clang of metal against metal as you hit the infernal ice cream cone. But you don't see that it had any effect. Back to Shaefira.
I'll chuck another hand axe at it.
Your hand axe hits. Dirty 20. But you don't see that it does any damage. It's like it hits it, but it didn't quite hit it hard enough.
Okay.
Well, you did it last time. Yeah.
It's almost like you have to do hit it with a certain amount of impact before it actually damages the thing.
The superhero's GM is glaring.
Stiiv.
Bloody damage threshold. All right. Here we go again. Pew! Oh, that'll do.
Natty 20.
Big money, big money. Whammies.
And with that, with the shooting of the green smoke, your Eldritch Blast, the orb explodes, or what's left of the orb explodes in a cloud of fire, which means that Kymir does have to make a saving throw. But
okay, does my fire resistance help with that?
Yeah, your fire resistance really does help with this. So, I mean, make the saving throw, but you're resistant to fire damage, right? Or are you immune? Are you resistant or immune?
Resist.
So make a dexterity saving throw.
hang on. There you go. I should be reconnected.
Yeah.
Nah, fucking hell. Oh, I did a really good dex save as well then. Hang on. Oh, that was better. Never mind.
That is plenty. That is plenty. Because you're resistant, you suffer 0 damage. Normally it would have been half damage, but because you're resistant, it halved it again, kind of.
Right.
So you jump back. Anyway, you saved. I don't know what I'm talking about. Oh yeah, I do know what I'm talking about. Well, the point is, you don't take any damage.
Woohoo.
So 1 orb down. Two to go. So that's 1 quest objective.
And did we see anything on the way? There was another passage to the south, wasn't there? Do we want to follow this one then, or I suppose we should follow this one while we're here and just check?
Do we want to go back and get our toothbrush?
Did Shaefira not pick it up once everyone was across?
it was Pittons.
Oh, thank you.
On one side.
So we could just leave it there and I don't know.
Might need
I
it for a
jump-
fast escape.
Unless I jump across and unhinge it and then walk back over. I don't know. What do you reckon? Do you think we'll need it again?
Oh, I see. You think to get... Well, I'm thinking if we follow it round to the... I want to be able to draw there. If we draw... Oh, give me an arrow. If we go
Oh, wait,
that way...
This little spot should be dry.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's dry. So do we need it at the moment? Should we worry about it if we need it?
If you explore to the south,
Oh,
from where you are now, you can see that there's like little teeny like carved outlets. But there are places where you can just kind of climb, where it's been dried of any acid, and you don't have to explicitly wade through the bubbling caustic liquid.
Don't talk about my coffee like that.
You see to the west that there's a plateau of stone. To the southern part of it, it seems to be covered in a bubbling black liquid.
wait, that's not the dodgy alien that killed Tashian in Star Trek, is it?
It does look similar.
Oh.
Maybe not that deep, because it's on like a plateau surface. It doesn't look like it's a pool. It just looks like there's a skunk of tarry substance over a large section of the plateau.
Well, it looks like we need to go to the west, doesn't it?
Dave is flying along with you and trying to keep close to Kymir. You see that the map seems to kind of go a little bit to the west and to the south. I say the map. It's really the caverns. The caverns is the fair way to describe this, because you don't actually have a map in your adventuring party.
We have brains
Okay.
that sometimes work.
Sometimes. My brain's telling me that it looks like this passage is going to loop round to where we were before.
Given the very small area of gray, I think you're right.
Yeah.
I should probably just unleash that little bit of fog of war, shouldn't I?
Probably. Unless it's
Now watch, there's a wall.
Yeah, oh, there's a giant monster in there waiting to devour us as we go past.
Oh, that could still be in the goo.
Hmm.
See if I have anything in my inventory here.
What to clear dodgy tar?
Just to throw in it. I do not. Um, Here we go. I
think I've
will
got.
take out from my backpack a straw hat and try and frisbee it into the center of the black curry goop. Like right there. That's the goal. Hat frisbee golf.
Okay. Do a dex check.
I'm great at these.
Yeah, you miss, and the straw hat falls into the acid.
Well,
So take the straw hat out of your inventory.
someone else got a better arm?
I think Kerithlana's suggestion is valid. She says, burn it.
I don't have any fire.
What does
I
my
have
son
a
look?
fiery spell, I think.
Oh.
That's right. She only sort of blew up a boat with it.
Mm.
Right, you got firebolt.
Yeah. I'll try that.
I'll stand back.
Okay, do your ranged. It's a
What?
ranged attack, right? To hit things with firebolt.
Yeah. Uh, 1d10 fire damage if I hit. So what do you want me to do? Just roll a...
Just do the ranged attack to see if you hit it. Okay, you do hit the black stuff on the floor.
Ignore that one, sorry. I have no idea. Oh, no, wait a minute. I found it.
So you shoot this bolt of fire from your fingertips, and it lands unerringly in this 10 by 20 foot puddly mass of black sticky goo, but it doesn't seem to have any effect.
Does it look inanimate? Does it look like it could have a mind?
It's just lying there. Goo on the ground. Goo on this stony plateau.
Okay, I've got a spear left. How about I go poke it with a spear?
And if that doesn't work, I have a pong ball.
All right. Can I reach it with my spear from there?
You could walk back around and get your toothbrush too. The toothbrush is back on the. It's still pittened into the cave.
Run around to the north.
I keep accidentally turning up the volume and freaking myself out. So you're throwing a spear at it?
Well, I was going to poke it.
You're just going to poke it?
Yeah.
All right, so you poke it. Do a dex save. I'm really not. I'm not sure what else to have you check, but okay. Because you're not really attacking per se.
Yeah.
So you gingerly poke the. Describe how you're poking this black stuff to me.
Can kind of cautiously around the edges to see if it reacts or if it just eats my spear. You know, basically, I want to see if it's like if it is an inanimate pool, or if it's gonna try and crawl up the spear at me. In which case, I'm gonna drop it quick.
So you're kind of like hesitantly poking at the edges. It
Yeah.
doesn't seem to move, but it does seem to melt the tip of your spearhead a little bit. You can see
Okay.
it damaged the weapon somewhat. So the material didn't respond, but it does seem to be hot and caustic in nature.
Hmm. Okay. I'm open to suggestions at this point. I ain't got a clue. I really thought the fire might work, as Kerithlana suggested.
Well, we're in a place with a whole bunch of demons. Demons tend to not really care too much about fire. Uh, Maybe some of that radiant stuff?
I could cast Radiant Sunball at it. Unless Kerithlana's got something a bit more potent. Unless you just wanted me to try that to see if it actually does anything.
Oh, man, I can shoot it.
Right. Okay. What do we do? Do you want to shoot it?
Yep, I will step up over here a good 10 feet away or so and shoot at the black tarry poop.
Oh, I just had another idea. Never mind.
Who's our DM?
No, I'm here.
She's sat
So-
giggling in a corner.
I did start giggling in a corner.
She's having as much fun as I have when you guys run hallways.
This is just a flat hallway. You just managed, like you for a split second, you thought you'd missed this patch and you'd gone shooting your Eldritch Blast wide, but no, you hit it.
Ugh.
And you zoink it with enough damage that suddenly this tarry substance begins to bubble and wiggle and move like it has pseudopodia. And it raises off of the stone plateau with like kind of a bubbling roar.
Kymir jumps back.
And it seems to be a living spell-like creature, kind of amorphous and floating, made out of tar. Actually, it's a pair of them that you have awoken from their slumber.
Living tar.
So roll initiative. And we can use this as a time to have a little break, a couple minute break for people to get drinks and smokes and things like that.
Yes. Rolled a 0.
Pity one. Let me give you a
back in
pity
a minute. one.
So that Fantasy Grounds knows what to do with you.
Yeah. All right, back in a mo.
All right. See you in 2 minutes, or 2 minutes and 20 seconds, so you can wash your hands. As usual, Shaefira is going to be first up in the initiative order.
Of course.
We wouldn't have it any other way.
Are we ready?
Oh, yes. So the tarry floor has transformed into 2 floating blobs of tar that are kind of wiggling angry pseudopodia in your direction.
I'll chuck a hand axe at it and see what happens. Number 1.
Critical hit, nat 20. So you definitely hit one with the hand axe, but what happens? The damage is partially resisted from your hand axe.
Oh.
But you do 3 damage to one of them, to living tar number 1.
It's better than nothing.
There's like a little sploppy spray that kind of clips off of it and just falls to the ground. And now it is Living Tar 2's turn. It floats closer to you guys. And then it shoots in the direction of Shaefira, this little magical kind of bolt that looks like it's made out of tar. But it totally misses. I think Dice Cat cursed my pencil.
Hey!
Because that was
Thank
a
you,
nat
Dice
1.
Cat.
So it shoots this kind of arrow of tar that misses Shaefira by a wide mile, just splashes into the stony wall of this cavern. Apparently not great eyesight on living tar. Wait, let me double check something. I want to make sure they don't. Okay, they only get the one thing. Cool. Kymir.
I don't think I want to get close to it, so I'm going to Radiant Sunbolt Living Tar 2. And have I got key points left? Have I got key points left? Where the hell's my key points?
You had a long rest. I don't think you've used any since then.
Right. No, I am. Okay. Radiant Sunbolt. Ooh!
So you hit Living Tar 2 with the Bolt of Light. Does not seem to be resisted. Seems to do full radiant damage.
Then I will take a key point and do 2 extra Sunbolts. To the same entity.
All right. Well, one of them hits.
That does
4 more damage.
And the second
Was a nat 1, so that one flies wide as well and hits that same spot in the wall that was recently ambushed by a tar bolt. Light hits the same spot. Now there's this crater of non-friendly fire that's damaged the cavern. But altogether, you did 8 points of damage to Living Tar 2.
Okay. That is me done.
Any movement? No more movement?
No, I'm going to stay put.
Okay, Kerithlana.
Okay. Hang on. Yeah, that's the damaged one, isn't it?
Both of them, I think, have been
Living
damaged a
Tar
little
2
bit.
is damaged.
So
That's
both of
fine.
them has taken some.
I will toll the dead on it.
Okay, it succeeded its save.
And as a bonus action, I will cast Spiritual Weapon on it.
Summon your puffin.
Well. Ooh. There we go. That is me done.
Okay. Wait, did you attack with your spiritual weapon? You did, and you did 5 damage. Okay, cool. Here's me catching up my brain. It is the first living tar's attack. And it sends out a spray in a 15-foot cone.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Of
Oh well, I'm not getting it. Okay.
yeah, it's only targeting Shaefira and Kymir. It is a sheet of flame. It's kind of murky and black bits within it that look like it's fire, but it's got little tendrils of tar within it as well. And it shoots out in the direction, kind of shoots through the spectral puffin, and it's flying straight towards Shaefira and Kymir. You guys need to do a dexterity save.
Dex save. We somersault away.
Yeah, you both like unerringly just flip out of the way, dodge, kind of lean back, and totally manage to avoid this. Well, almost managed to avoid it because it's one of those things that does half damage on a successful save. What happens is you take even less damage than you would normally have taken, Kymir, because part of this sheet of magic that the tar shot at you was fire. So Shaefira takes 5 points of damage, and you take 1 point of damage, Kymir. But you avoid the full brunt. Stiiv, do you need me to apply the damage, or are you going to do it yourself?
I will try and apply it myself.
Okay.
Damage. So I need to say that's 7. Oh. Where do I do it? Main. So you up your wounded. Oh, bollock. Every time. Right, I applied an extra 7 instead of changing the wounded to 7. Thank you. Why would it do that? Why does it cumulatively do it instead of the mind anyway?
I think it's just applying it in the wrong field. I don't know. Shaefira, are you good?
Yeah.
Okay. Stiiv, do what you're doing.
We got a couple of people here. We're gonna first point at the rock behind living tar number 2, and I have lost Toby again because I got a new computer.
Oh, that's right. Let me go find where Toby is.
Can we not just get Toby to sweep him into the acid?
Not physical.
No, of course he's not. He felt physical when he touched me.
There's a tentacle.
Oh, there it is.
Toby appears. Waves. Gives you a little wave.
Make him a little bigger. All right, so Toby's sticking up out of the rock. I think that's the first time I've summoned him since he became a traitor.
This time when you summoned him, he waved you like normal. He waved to you. Like,
Yeah, I'm still giving him the side eye.
And wait to the bad guy.
long time no see, buddy.
And swing.
And Toby touches Tar with a dirty 20.
Ooh, I like
So,
that.
as Toby unleashes the chilliness of its touch, you see that a chunk of living tar, the second piece of living tar, seems to just kind of freeze in place and crumple to the ground and shatter in little black icy bits.
I like that part. And since
Yeah.
he's already messed up, we're gonna shoot him.
Is Toby the only one of us with cold damage?
You hit with your Eldritch Blast with a 19.
Pew!
And you pulverize that living tar with a splat, and it just kind of knocks back the force of your Eldritch Blast, just kind of knocks it back, and it lands with a splat against the far wall, kind of flying through Toby, but Toby doesn't care. So, like, where Toby's tentacling through the wall now, there's just this black splurch around him, halo.
Downward. And I'm staying put.
I didn't roll for Dave. Dave was just hanging out here. He's like, oh gosh, this is really exciting. I thought you guys were in real trouble, but you seem to be handling this just fine. And we are back at the top of the attack order with Shaefira.
I'll see what happens if I shoot an arrow at the target.
With an 11, your arrow misses. Apparently, it does matter that Grim took your pencil.
Yeah, I'm just going to move over here.
Waves pencil at Shaefira. Right. I'm going to. I don't know. Well, I ain't going to touch it with my hands. So I guess I'm back to the sunbolt.
So you hit with your first bolt. Kymir's first bolt hits the tar with a dirty 20. You do 5 damage.
I will. Do I want to take another key point? Yeah, go on. Why not? Oh, I clicked off and on. Right. So I will do another 2 sunbolts, and I will miss.
The 8 misses. But the 18 hits.
Hey, 2 out of 3 is not bad, as Mr. Meatloaf said.
So you do another 7 damage to the living tar. You've done 12 damage total.
Right. I am going to back up.
What did Meatloaf lie about? Wait, who is Meatloaf?
2 out of 3 ain't bad.
Oh, okay. It's not bad. It's 12 damage.
I mean, it's like his third most famous song. No, maybe second. I don't know.
Kerithlana, it is your turn.
Okay. The puffin will have a go at living tar number 1. Ooh.
The puffin hits with 23.
Puffin screams excitedly.
Do.
And Pex,
And
Pex for 5 damage.
to our number 1 now smells of fish as well. Right. I will toll the dead on it as well.
But it
But
succeeded.
it makes me save. Okay. I'm done.
It had advantage on its save?
Yes, it has advantage on us against spell effects, I guess. Has some magic resistance, apparently. I wonder if I should
Oh.
have made you roll an arcane check to see if you understood what that meant. But let me just tell you, yeah, it has some magic resistance. Because it's a living spell.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Let's see.
That's exactly what Kerithlana was thinking, but she was using much shorter words. Like, it has the stuff because it's the thing.
Oats.
So Steve was like, oh! It must
The
have
thing.
resistance against spell saves because it's magic itself. The thing has the stuff.
It's the thing.
Oh, yeah, the thing has the stuff. Yeah, that makes sense. Oh, it's the Living Tar's turn. Oh, I need to roll something. Okay, so it moves. So it kind of floats towards you. And then it unleashes another cone.
Do not want.
And if I could actually move things, but I can't move things because I suck at moving. So I just moved over the puffin. you hear the tar going, excuse me, pardon me, excuse me, to the puffin. So the cone of flame and tar shoots out again, and this time it both Stiiv, Shaefira, and Kymir and Dave are all within the range. So Dex saves. Kymir saved, Shaefira didn't. Stiiv has saved. And Dave did not.
Oh no!
So Dave and Shaefira take 9 points of damage.
Well, I
It's so
tried.
tiny. The acid damage is so tiny that Kymir doesn't take anything, and Stiiv takes 4 points of damage. What were you saying, Kymir?
Rach was asking what to do. So when I tried to increase my damage before, it seemed to add it on top. So I was just saying, add your.
Add it to your wounds.
Yeah, mine didn't do that. I put 9 in and it just
You
changed
have
it
to add
9.
it to what number you already have.
Well, that's what I did. I added it to what I had, and it made it. It added 7 to it instead of saying that my wounds are now 7.
Oh.
That's why I got confused.
I'm not sure I understand how to explain it.
That's weird.
Yeah, it's fine.
I'm
It
not
might be
quite
for
sure.
myself.
But Shaefira, how much damage did you have beforehand? Because I wasn't paying attention. Did you
I
have
had
14?
5.
You had 5, so 5 plus 9 is
yeah.
14. So you're cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I've sorted
Kymir,
it. Yeah.
you didn't really take any. Kerithlana, of course, didn't take any because she was out of range. And Stiiv, you took 4 damage, which was the first damage you've taken, right?
Yep.
So everybody's good, except for that they took damage. Oh, Dave! I got to give Dave 9 points of damage. Poor Dave. He looks like he got owied. Oh wait, I forgot. He's resistant to fire. Or is he? Oh yeah, he didn't take the. So he only took 1 point of damage. Sorry. Because he's immune to fire, so he only took the acid damage. Okay. That was that turn. Stiiv.
I don't like you. Bonus action. We're gonna
Taurus
have Toby
jerk.
move up and smack him. Oh, that's gonna hurt.
You did nat 20.
This is
Toby
gonna leave a
grasped
mark.
him really hard. Grasp that tar. So you do 7 cold damage to the living tar with Toby's chilly grasp.
14.
Oh, 14. Yeah, because I can't read. Huge. So like half of this living tar at least just kind of cracks, is frozen, and just falls to the ground because of the weight of the ice and shatters on the stony cavern floor.
And I don't like being close, but I don't like running away either. Someone's gonna reach out a hand and cast shocking grasp on the ooze.
What? Yeah,
On fire.
I think Dice Cat totally reversed the polarity on my dice skill on my pencil.
Dude, that's 3 20s on the trot.
So you reached out, grasped the last
Well, that is
fragment of living
My last
tar.
3 dice rolls are 20s.
Yeah, you're getting some golden snitch action here. And
Holy crap.
you just kind of crush it in your grasp. And the tar just kind of reverts to like this powdery substance and just kind of rains to the ground. So while there is still black stuff on the map, because I did it like as a permanent thing, there is no longer any black stuff on the actual cavern floor. You have defeated the living tar out of it.
And Toby expires.
You see that the caverns extend to the south and to the west. There are channels of acid and pools here and there. The channels of acid seem to create this kind of network of rocky outcroppings, small plateaus, and dangerous little chasms. What do you do?
Let's walk over here and
Take
take a
10
peek.
minutes and I'll do a prayer of healing.
Do that too.
Healing sounds good.
Okay. Are you healing Dave as well?
It's area of effect, so yeah, why not?
So I think
At
that
the
gives.
end.
6 targets, I believe.
Voice. That's everybody.
Oh,
So
shit.
Nice.
everybody's healthy.
Lovely.
They sparkle. And Dave's like, thank you. I feel so human now.
I'm sure somebody will invent something to sort that out later. Right. Okie dokie. Sorry, off you go.
So where are we going, Mr. Monk?
Okay.
As you look around this, you kind of like, this plateau is clean now. So if you wander around, you can kind of get more of an impression of all the distances, like what lies beyond.
Um.
Who has from where you are, where Kymir and Shaefira are, you can see in the distance and to the south, like directly south, the cavern also seems to branch off to the southeast somewhat, but directly to the south you spy the glow of another infernal portal. And in front of that infernal portal, having not noticed your presence yet, you see an assorted group of figures. Several devils. And the succubus that you have heard called Lyra. And one of the devils is holding a large beast by a chain around its neck. It looks like a very large version of the gnarly baby bird that you encountered before. It seems relatively docile, though, compared to the gnarly baby bird, and it does have this chain around its neck that one of the devils is holding.
What, like a dog on a leash?
Yes,
Type?
but it's flying.
Okay.
So a kite.
Yeah, a kite. You also see to the south, there seem to be also something that the devils have not noticed yet. There seem to be some tiger-like creatures. So they look like tigers, but they're also a little bit scarier than your normal tiger. They've got a lot of open wounds and they seem a bit fiery in nature. But none of these creatures have noticed you yet. You notice that, well, everybody do a perception check.
Perception, is there... Ooh. Wow.
Damn.
So you all notice that one of the most of the devil guards appear to be kind of grunts. They look like just kind of like a contingent that Lyra has brought with her, and they kind of have the demeanor that they've just arrived through the portal, intending on mischief. Uh, Most of the devils look like grunts, but one of them appears to be the commander and is more ornately armored and wears a golden mask that suggests the features of a human man in the throes of rage and agony.
Now, you see, when I look at the icon, it looks like a creepy baby doll face.
That might be what devils think. Yeah, human faces look
Yeah.
like. They're all like creepy baby doll faces. All of them.
Right, okay. Well, there's quite a few dudes down there.
They haven't noticed you yet, and you hear like the faint tinges of Lyra's sing-song succubus voice, but only Kymir and Kerithlana can like really make out what she's saying, and she seems to be scratching the gnarly bird under its beak. And she's like, "You'll find the baby for me, won't you? That little brat. You'll get me the page, won't you? Hmm?"
So it's a sniffer dog. With wings.
So they haven't noticed you yet, but the devil soldiers, they are not flying, but Lyra and the Virok are. So you don't have much time before they're going to start moving and potentially notice you.
Do we want to run away?
But no matter what, I think stealth is probably a good idea.
I mean, it seems a lot to take on, fight-wise.
Yeah, that's why I was like, shoot it! Oh, she keeps adding things. Maybe not.
Okay, I think I would like to attempt to sneak away as well, since I'm... you lot cheese it and I'll bring up the end. Stealth. Ooh.
So, okay, this is so terrible. Because Kymir, you managed to kind of like sneak away. Stiiv and Kerithlana and Puffin, they were just far enough away to be kind of like not immediately noticeable. But Shaefira, maybe the first time in her existence, but like her magical pencil is not with her in this difficult time.
She rolled higher than I did.
Did she? Well, you were out of
Aye.
range.
Oh, okay.
And I have to roll for one more person.
I like how we've all run off and Shaefira's just stood there by herself.
So like three of you are kind of like out of range, not immediately noticeable, but Shaefira is just standing there. And none of the soldiers or the tigers notice her, uh, but Lyra the succubus does. And she's like, "Well, what do we have here?" Don't suppose you try-hard heroes came across a little codex page for me, hmm? And she starts to fly toward you. Well, all the other creatures are kind of like, huh, what? There's a succubus flying? Let me double check how fast she can fly.
I mean, it's going to be around the corner. Gesturing at Shaefira to come back.
Oh, so she can fly. She can fly a lot.
Uh-oh.
So she gets here to where you are, Shaefira. And she like just continues flying past you. Because she's like, "Oh, you're a little small." And she looks around. She looks
That's a
around the
first
rest of the
mistake.
party. We'll throw this one back. And she looks around the party and she sees Kymir. And she's like, "No, I've tried you already." And so she looks at Kerithlana and she looks at Stiiv. And she sees there's a spectral puffin kind of like floating defensively in front of Kerithlana. So she heads for Stiiv and she tries to lay on a big kiss. And she's like, "If you aren't servants of Overlord Therizadun yet, maybe I can convert you." Stiiv, you're going to need
I
to
don't
make a
suppose I could
wisdom
take an action,
save.
can I?
Wisdom or charisma?
Wisdom. And you are now charmed.
Kerithlana slaps guidance on. Will that make a difference?
Doesn't work on saving throws.
Right. I couldn't remember if it was abilities or not.
So you're under her charm, and she's like, "You don't happen to know where the codex page is, do you?"
Awkward.
I do.
Oh, that's wonderful. Can you give it to me?
And you're not on this plane of existence.
It's not on this plane of existence. Well, what plane of existence is it on?
I don't know. And that's the truth.
Well,
Neither of those
since
are
you
lies.
know, since you do have it, but you say you don't know what plane of existence it's on, I might have to take you with me unless you hand it over to me right now. Go get it for me.
No. Okay.
Can we stop him?
No, because I'm going to reach in to the bag of holding and pull out the toy dragon plushie, within which is a crumpled piece.
It's a toy. It's not a page. Where is the
Squish it.
page? What did you say?
I said squish it.
The succubus squishes the toy dragon plushie, and then the crinkly sound happens. I just like, oh. She rips it apart, and there's this piece of paper. Now, remind me, is this actually the page, or is it the decoy page?
And you can look in my inventory. The one that was stuffed within the toy dragon plushie was the fake one the entire time.
Okay, that's what I was thinking. I just wanted to make sure I didn't make a mistake. So she's going to make a check to see if she can actually notice that it is a fake page, which I think is an insight check. Does that sound fair?
I would say insight or arcana.
And you're going to roll a deception check.
Yeah, I was going to say, does the guidance still count?
Oh yeah, yeah, you'll have guidance. Dude, oh bastard!
That would be a
20. So
24.
she has to defeat a 24. There are 2 numbers she can roll. Oh, she doesn't. So she's like, okay, thank you, suck you, bye bye. And she takes the sheet and she poofs out of sight.
Have a great day.
Poof.
The one thing we can do
Is lie our asses off.
is lie like motherfuckers.
But no one else in those devils and monsters actually noticed Shaefira. So at the moment, they're still like scratching their heads, like what, where did she go? Where'd Lyra go? What?
Can I remove those items from my inventory?
So Shaefira, make another stealth check and see if you can tiptoe away successfully.
Yes. Taking that's a yes, yeah.
I think that's pretty much a yes. I just gotta make sure I don't roll any nat 20s. Sometimes I'm not good at rolling things. Okay, nobody noticed you. But the you see that the soldier that's wearing the creepy face noticed the tigers, and you hear the soldier let out this loud scream, and you hear Kymir, you hear an infernal the shout of the tigers must die, and the soldier in the fancy armor kind of leaps across this chasm of acid towards the tigers and starts engaging them in combat.
How bizarre.
Oh, and then you realize that while you were like having this interaction with Stiiv, and Lyra was like, using her succubus wiles on Stiiv, which Stiiv still feels like he pretty much wants to do whatever Lyra wants him to do. She just didn't leave any instructions beyond handing pages.
Grimm's PC just died, FYI.
Oh no!
Yeah, the blue screen of death.
Oh no! We might kind of come to a close then after this one last little description of what's happening. Once Stiiv was charmed, apparently some control over the gnarly bird that's on a chain expired, and the gnarly bird started attacking the devils that were holding it by a chain, and so they're kind of struggling, fighting to keep the gnarly bird under control at this point. So all of the devils to the south are fighting creatures, distracted for the moment. And
I say we
that's where I think we're going to leave it off. Since the time will take Grim to like reconnect and stuff.
Yeah,
we'll hit our deadline anyhow.
Super. Right.
Just let them all mess each other up and just pick off who's left.
Yeah, and just loot the bodies.
Exactly.
It's called the hangover maneuver.
Mass confusion.
All right.
Right. Thanks, Bonnie. See you
Thank
next
you
week, maybe.
guys.
Bye,
I'm going to
guys.
tally up the experience for the things you might have done this week, because some of it was killing things and some of it was achievement based.
And some of it was lies.
Well, that's achievement. Achievement through lying. Whee!
Like, if you go back through all of these sessions, that's got to be the only thing, still the only thing we're actually regularly good at is lying our asses off.
The only thing that works like clockwork is the lying your asses off.
See y'all later.
Thanks, y'all.
Bye,
you. Bye.
Steve.
Bye, Steve.